with the teardrops in your eyes, and it touches me much more than I can say. You know I hate to think
Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call to order the April 9th, 2025 City Council meeting to order. Ms. Cassandra.
Mayor David Romero.
Here.
Councilor Marvin Martinez.
Present.
Councilor Barbara Casey.
Here.
Councilor Michael Montoya.
Present.
Councilor David Ulivari.
Here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We do have a quorum.
Councilor Olivari, will you lead us in the pledge?
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilor Casey, will you lead us in the moment of silence?
Let us remember the citizens of Las Vegas and beyond who are well-known, good people, good friends, family-oriented folks who have passed away this last month. Let us remember them in our prayers and ask that the families who are feeling the void of their loss get some kind of solace from God so that they can move on with their lives and find happiness in knowing that their relatives passed on to a better place. Amen.
Councilors? Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, approval of the agenda, and there is a recommendation for an amendment to remove the presentation. Unfortunately, the BPA members could not make it today. They send their apologies.
So with that change, can I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Motion by Councilor Casey, second by Councilman Martinez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it.
Mr. Mayor, moving on, we have mayor's appointments, reports, recognitions, and proclamations.
Okay, at this time, Mr. Mahan, if you don't mind,
No public input.
there was no public input, right?
There is no public input. Appel.
Mr. Lujan, if you don't mind coming up. So, to the listeners and those here in the audience, this weekend was, I think, a very special day. I know West Las Vegas started hosting some, in this specific case, softball tournament. And what they did is they started from here on out, it'll be the Virginia Lujan softball tournament. With that time, I know I had been in conversation with Mr. Tripp, and I told him that I'd like to name that date and proclaim it Miss Virginia Lujan Day. But we had a mix-up on the days on when the tournament was. I apologize. So I thought it would be appropriate here to bring you here and go ahead and give you this proclamation. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and read it out loud. It says, whereas Virginia Lujan was born October 17th, 1947 in Chimayo, New Mexico. She graduated from Espanola High School and received her master's degree from New Mexico Highlands University. And whereas she coached volleyball, girls basketball, and softball at West Las Vegas High School. She also taught physical education at West Las Vegas School for 29 years. And whereas she coached the Lady Dons basketball team to the district championship in 1982, along with 2 state softball runner-ups in 1981 and 82. So whereas, in recognition for her many years of service to West Las Vegas, the West Las Vegas Virginia Lujan Baseball Tournament is dedicated to her for her outstanding service as a coach and teacher. And now, therefore, I, David Romero, Mayor of the City of Las Vegas, along with members of the governing body, do hereby proclaim March 29th, 2025 as Virginia Lujan Day.
Thank you.
I don't know if the governing body would like to come in here. And again, this was for the tournament that was this weekend. And Mr. Lujan, I know I had the opportunity to, sit on the board at West Las Vegas. I know Councilor Casey and Councilman Martinez and probably, the rest of the governing body. I think at one point or another, we all dealt with Miss Lujan, and, she was a role model to students, throughout her times.
Thank you.
So, we don't want to recognize this and, all that she's done. And I think we all miss her.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. You guys-
And
I don't know if we can get a picture together, the governing body with Mr. Lujan. And
on behalf of my wife, Virginia, and myself and my entire family, we want to thank you for this memorable and beautiful occasion. It's something we'll always remember and we'll always have close to our hearts. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You want to come down and I'll let you hold it and we'll get one picture.
Yes, sir.
And this way.
Stay here.
Be in order.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. Thank you. Thank you, Dick.
And then I'll allow you counselors, I know.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr.
The next item, and they weren't able to make it, but what I'll do is I'll present it to them at a later date. The family of Victor Sanchez, the baseball tournament for West Las Vegas will be in his honor. And now moving on to the exciting part, I know Coach Victor's up here. And as Tripp mentioned to me today, a lot of your girls are in other sports and more than likely wouldn't make it. So thank you for being here on their behalf. So at this time, what we'd like to do is basically give a certificate of recognition. I know you guys came up runner-up. I know we were all, cheering you guys on and hoping that we'd bring home that blue, but it didn't fall to what we wanted, but we're still proud of them. And even runner-up, it's a big accomplishment, especially you. I know. I remember when I was on the board, you were a youngin playing basketball, and for you to lead these girls to that level in the short amount of time that you've been coaching, thank you. And I think our community is proud of what you've done. And what I'll go ahead and do is I'll go ahead and I know they're not here, but I'll announce their names just in their recognition. Miss Yesenia Esquivel, Miss Alexis Pacheco, and if I say this wrong, Coach, correct me, or I'll ask Counselor Casey, because Jayla Cordova, Tyra Orner, Sylvia Lucero, Kendra Sanchez, Chastity St. Just, Cheyenne Montoya, Brianna Montoya, Kara Morgan, Marisol Sarasal, Annabelle Ulivari, Peyton Richardson, Naomi Mora, and then we have our, again, the recognition to you, Coach Victor Ulibarri, Assistant Coach Amy Gonzalez, and Assistant Coach Tony Udley. Again, thank you, Coach. We're proud of you and the girls and what they've accomplished, and they brought some recognition to our community, but not only just West Las Vegas. Thank you. I don't know if you want to come up here and maybe we'll take a picture. I know Councilor Casey has hard for her to get up and down, so I didn't think about that. Councilor, I appreciate it. Sorry.
Thank you for making me feel like I'm 1,000 years old.
So you don't mind coming back here and we'll take a picture. You guys want to?
I'm doing better. I didn't bring my cushion. Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you guys. You bet.
Thanks.
Sure. Good to see you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Way out there now.
Okay. That's good. I'm good.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, moving on to our councilors' reports.
I wasn't done with mine. I
Oh,
just
sorry.
add a couple things. First off, Mr. Marquez, want to thank you. I know city manager was on a well-deserved break, and you took the helm for while he was gone, and I think things went smoothly. So thank you for stepping up. Also, to those that we had the opportunity of doing the groundbreaking for El Criston Circle. I think it turned out really nice. A lot of the residents in that area participated. It turned out to be a good event. So thank you to those that participated and worked hard to make that successful. So thank you guys. And Mr. City Manager, welcome back.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Ms. Costanza.
Mr. Mayor, next is our councilors' reports.
Councilors?
Okay, Mr. Mayor, thank you. You did mention one of the things I was going to mention was the groundbreaking for the Criston Circle, and we had a good crowd. It was a cold day, but still people showed up, and that was a good thing, and I appreciate that. It looks like that's going to be a big improvement in the area, so big thanks to all those parties, including the Highway Department, the DOT project fund that is going to be utilized in a good way. Some of the other events that I've actually attended was I can't even remember. I'm thinking of it was the Chamber of Commerce, one of the events there. But other than that, I know that a lot of the directors and staff are moving forward to get some of the potholes done. I do thank you for listening to the other counselors as well and making sure that gets done. So just a lot of moving parts. Thank you for doing what you do, staff. Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Casey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I also want to thank staff for all the wonderful work that they do. We've been through so much in the last several years that I'm always thankful that we have staff that is dedicated to the city and making the community a better place in which to live. So I thank everyone for that. I'm happy that Tai Chi has started up again at the senior center. A lot of people love the Tai Chi classes, and I'm anxious to go back myself because I really miss it. And it's a wonderful way to gain balance and get rid of arthritis pain and do all these wonderful things when you start to get old and your body parts just wear out. So the instructor is awesome, and I recommend that class highly. Also, I want to thank our legislators who worked to get some money during the legislative session. I was disappointed with the small amounts of money that we did receive. However, whatever we get is welcomed, and I'm thankful for the money that we got. I also was contacted day before yesterday by the Mexican consulate in Albuquerque. And the new consul is a woman by the name of Patricia Lines Sanchez. And she would like to meet with elected officials, the counselors, and I did send you all an email requesting their attendance. She specifically requested the attendance of Caleb Marquez, and it was named by name in her email to me, and the mayor, so you can't get away with it, and the sheriff. And in the conversation with her assistant, they would also like representatives from the university and Luna Community College and the Catholic churches, because those provide services in Spanish. So that meeting is scheduled for April 24th here in the council chambers, and it's only an hour long, so it shouldn't take too long for whatever it is that they plan to do. I won't know what they are I think they just want to get to know the community a little bit, talk to people about
The initiatives that are happening.
and I think that's a good opportunity for us to be able to make a connection with the Mexican government, especially now that there are so many things that are occurring on the national level that affect people who live in our community and in our state. So I hope that the counselors and the county commissioners can be present and
As soon as possible so that we can, I can
let them know how many people to expect here, and they can formulate their presentation to,
ask us what they need to know from the people that are,
I'm telling them will be present. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, Councilman Olivari.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, staff. Thank you, Arnold, for all the work you're doing. Potholes up at the west side. The streets are really bad, but they're working on them. Mr. Marcus, both Marcuses, guys are doing a great job. We need a little bit of work on the code enforcement. We've got a lot of people that are building fences, new fences. I think we need to acknowledge that you need to talk to your code enforcement and see if they're working on that. But there's a lot of people doing a lot of work on the west side without permits. So if you could take a look at that, Mr. Manager, and talk to your directors. And thank all the staff for all the hard work they do. Thank you.
Councilor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I want to apologize to the residents up at the Crestone Circle. I was scheduled to be out of town on that day. But I do congratulate you on that project. I thank Mayor and Council. I thank the New Mexico Department of Transportation, Mr. Adam Romero and Gabe Lucero. They have been very helpful, as well as our staff here, Mr. Arnold Lopez, in obtaining these funds that we're able to get through applications, through grants, and matching funds. We started 2 years ago with the Legion Drive project, and that was like a $3.8 million project. It got completed. Took some time, and our constituents had patience with us. And then we moved on to University Avenue, and now to El Crestón, and then we're moving on to Commerce Road, or Commerce Street. And including in there, Phase 3 is on Mountain View Drive. But, I want to thank the residents for being patient with us. Construction is not an easy thing to deal with. People have to divert to other streets or change their routes and deal with trash and all kinds of stuff. But in order for us to complete those projects, it's important that you help us out, assist us in having that patience with us. It will get done, and once it gets done, it's a rewarding thing for us to have sidewalks and have new streets available to us. I did also attend the airport committee a couple of days ago, and the subject about the old hangar that was built back in the 1940s is deteriorating, and some of the attachments to it. And they're doing an assessment to see if it's worth fixing it or not. That will come to Mayor and Council down the road. And also, the fencing is also in the works for the airport to keep all the wildlife out, so that we'll have no more airplane accidents. We do have a lot of area there, Mr. City Manager. I don't know if you visit the airport. We probably have, 1,200 acres or so. It would be nice to, down the future, do some kind of development up there, or even take water so that our employees and visitors can have restroom facilities and so forth. But I think that's about it. I have a few complaints about crosswalks still in town. I mean, takes time to get done, so we'll move forward. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. And I just, thinking back now, Councilor Casey and the governing body, I do want to announce that in House Bill 2, hopefully everything goes good with the governor, but we do have a 3.5 million allocation for the water treatment plant and water, so that's a big plus, 3.5 million, so thank you.
Mr. Mayor, moving on to approval of minutes for March 11th joint meeting, March 12th and March 19th, 2025.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of the minutes for March 11th joint meeting, the March 12th regular meeting, and the March 19th regular meeting.
Motion by Counselor
Second,
Casey,
Second by Councilman Ulibarri. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moving on to our consent agenda, if I may read those into the record. Our first item is request approval of addendum number 1 to contract 408324 Curb Services Company for on-call pressure reducing valve and altitude control valve maintenance. Item 2, request approval of addendum number 2 to contract 396723 Hayes Plumbing and Heating for an on-call commercial plumbing services. And finally, item number 3, request approval of addendum number 3 to contract 387522 with the Masters Touch LLC for the monthly mailings and postage for the city of Las Vegas.
Councilors, the motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the consent agenda as read into the record.
Motion by Counselor Casey. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Martinez. Roll call.
Councilor Montoya?
Yes.
Councilor Olivari?
Yes.
Councilor Casey?
Yes.
Councilor Martinez?
Yes.
I have a motion by Councilor Casey, a second by Councilor Martinez. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries. Moving on to our business items. Our first item is request approval of resolution number 2515 to apply for and assuring of matching funds for the Transportation Project Fund grant for a total project amount of $2,182,652.61, which includes the New Mexico gross receipts tax. We have our Public Works Director, Mr. Arnold Lopez.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We ask approval of this resolution to apply for and for assuring the matching funds for the Transportation Project Fund grant. This year for 25-26, our selected project is going to be on Commerce Street. So we do require a 5% match. We will apply for the match waiver. So our match would be $109,000. The total grant is $2,073,519 and change for plan design, construction, reconstruction, drainage improvements, pavement rehab, ADA compliant curbs and ramps, miscellaneous construction, construction management of Commerce Street from East National Avenue to East Baca Street. Stand for questions.
I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Martinez.
Okay, I'll go ahead and move to approve Resolution 2515 as noted on business items number 1.
Motion by Councilman Martinez. Do I have a second? Second by Councilor Casey. Discussion. Councilman Montoya.
Mr. Lopez, so how many blocks is this project?
Well, there's not really blocks in that area. It's the length, the entire length from.
What's the length?
Footage wise, I couldn't tell you, but it is from East National Avenue to East Baca Street. So it'll probably be phased out. Beyond that would be the next phase. So we kind of base this on a $2 million asking point. We don't want to, if we over ask, we're probably likely to not get funded because they only have 11 million that's spread out. There's going to be over 40 requests for this year. So they will be selecting from 40 different projects that are requested from different entities.
Understand that. My concern was that the people at the end of Commerce are the ones that were pushing for this project the most. And I guess they're going to be left out.
When you say the end, are you talking the southern end?
Yes.
Where it's
the
not paved?
The southern end, yeah, where it's
Okay.
not paved.
So the reason why we selected that area is because it is badly deteriorated and it needs attention. It's a lot of safety concerns on it. Apparently there was some kind of probably a sanitary sewer project that occurred and it settled a lot. We have really poor drainage in a certain area. Part of the curb is in good shape. The east side is in pretty good shape. The rest is badly deteriorated. So it was based on selection of that area was based on need, basically.
So would you say it'd be another 50 years before we get to that project, to that street?
I hope not. Maybe next year we could select that project as our second phase, like we did El Creston. We did the same thing.
Because, those people have been without a street for over 50 years, paved street. And actually, I think probably they had millings the last maybe 10 years or so, but before that, it's always been dirt. So, just my my 2 cents into, seeing if we can do another project on the road that won't take a long time. And probably be another administration by then, but hopefully you'll keep it on your priority list.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Olivari?
I know that Mr. Montoya did talk about the north side of Commerce. I know that BTU's they run around, the trucks run to railroad, I think so, or not railroad, Pecos. And they do a lot of running around through the side of the, have you had a talk with them and see what you could do with them? Because they do, the streets really need a lot of help, so maybe we could get some money in there and get those streets done. But the streets are really bad. But, I know that the BTU runs through those roads and they have them all, and that's only because BTU, but a lot of the residents and everybody that comes out of there have really bad roads.
Yes, sir, and the problem there is, it does sustain a lot of heavy truck traffic from BTU, loaded truck traffic. And the area that we're gonna improve, we're gonna thicken the asphalt to sustain that type of damage. So it'll take a 5-inch thickness of asphalt, and with also a geogrid underneath base cores to hopefully support that traffic. And then the street will be prolonged by taking those extra measures. And beyond that, all the other side streets have sustained a lot of damage, are in poor condition, so we just need to keep hammering away and seek funding and hopefully address all that area.
I know that the trucks get really beat up, the BTU trucks. I don't know if you have BTU helping you out on one of the streets, because I think it's Pecos is the one that they do a lot of traffic there. It's really bad. It's really bumpy and potholes, like, you can't even drive through there. But if you have BTU help you out on some of those potholes, I don't know if we can do that or not.
We can approach them and ask, if they'd entertain a donation of some sort towards that effort.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
I was going to add to what.
Go ahead.
One last question. Is there any sidewalks in this project?
No, sir, we're not gonna, no, there is no existing sidewalks.
And is there a need for them?
I guess there'd be a need everywhere for sidewalks, potentially, yes, sir. Again, it's a long portion, and the sidewalks would be like another phase. Basically, you could always add sidewalks after the fact. But being that asphalt is in dire need of improvement, and it's expensive to do road improvements, you don't stretch that dollar very far, but like I say, our plan is to address really the major concerns right now and just continue with additional phases towards that effort.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Casey?
I just wanted to add to what Councilor Olivari had asked about BTU. I did, it's been probably a couple of months ago that I spoke to the owner of BTU and asked him if they could reroute their trucks away from that area, because not only because of the destruction of the road, but because of the noise. And I got a lot of complaints from people that live in that area. And he did say that they would do what they could, and I think they probably did, but it didn't last too long. So just wanted to.
Fortunately, there's not very many options there due to the interstate, Yeah. And the railroad tracks too impact, where they could access through. They only have basically that crossing
Right.
closest to them.
Mr. Mayor. I guess at one point, Mr. Lopez, there was talks in putting in another overpass, another exit, basically at that point. That would kind of tie into this area just right behind us here along to the interstate. But of course, those are big dollars that are, that would be the best thing, of course, but that would be quite a bit of dollars going into that. And I don't know if, the highway department or, that any of those transportation monies would even be considered into that. But that would alleviate all that heavy traffic from coming back into all residential areas in the city. especially if they're just interstate, bringing in supplies or, taking out concrete or whatever, they can always get on the interstate right away. But I mean, that's something that would be probably looked at down the road as a wish thing. I mean, maybe that's something that, I don't know if our community does need another exit. I couldn't explain where we would start to go about, even thinking about that. But at one point, city council was looking at that as an option. So I don't know if this was several years back, so I couldn't even begin to tell you if I think that ball got dropped a long time ago, but at least those are options that, that might be 20 years down the road. I don't know. I mean, hopefully our little community supports more growth and continues to flourish so that we can support something like that for our community.
The expense of building something like that with an overpass would be tremendous. And DOT is committed more to, addressing, like, our Grand Avenue is gonna get redone, reconstructed, and, because it's badly needed as well, no? And I think they're focusing on existing issues and as opposed to taking new construction on, but who knows, down the road, it'd be nice.
Just something to think about. I mean, I
Yeah.
know we don't want to take good funds away from a project that, might be stalled for years, you know what I mean? And we need to make sure that we continue to have funds coming into the necessary roads that we have in our community, like Grand Avenue, 7th Street and so forth, that are funded by the state. So, anyway, those are just items for thought
Yes, sir. Thank you.
tomorrow.
Mr. Lopez, I just had one question, kind of tagging on to what Councilman Montoya was asking. On the south end of that Commerce, because I know we have South Commerce on the other side, but on that south end of Commerce, for drainage and stuff like that, would we need engineering to get that piece? I mean, I'm just thinking, like, is it worth maybe putting in a small investment for engineering that would help us in the next phase if we do apply? Or do you think that there's engineering that's needed, I guess?
We can fund, it wouldn't be that much more, because they're doing, survey, drainage study, all that pertains to the whole area. So I wouldn't see it being a big cost, but that's a great idea, because then it would be per se shovel-ready, and that's always a big plus when you're applying for DOT monies and when we're doing our presentations and our request. One of the questions that is asked very often is it shovel-ready, straight up, and saying that it is always tends to rate and rank a little higher.
Maybe that's something that the council could look into, is getting that engineering for that
I think
part,
that's
and
a
that would
great
be-
idea. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We'll see how we could
Roll
fund
call.
that.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
Counselor Montoya?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Martinez, a second by Counselor Casey. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries. Moving on to our second item, presentation, discussion, and update on customer service efficiency and information on Amnesty Day, which is April 19th, 2025. We have our gas director and interim solid waste director, Mr. David Marcus.
Welcome, Mr. Marcus.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Apologize, it's taking a while to answer over, but. Okay, I want to give a brief presentation about what's been taking place over here at Solid Waste Department. I want to get right into this, enhancing solid waste customer service strategies. This presentation explores the best practices and innovative strategies to enhance solid waste customer service, ensuring effective service delivery and satisfaction by myself, Natural Gas Director, Interim Solid Waste Director. Number 1, support for solid waste residents, working hand in hand with Customer Service Department, providing essential assistance regarding solid waste collection in a timely manner, supporting our community and our customer service needs, supporting staff with cross-training along with obtaining trainings and certifications pertaining to the solid waste facility. Key components of solid waste customer service, essential elements for a positive customer service experience, responsiveness, timely responses to customer inquiries and issues, enhanced satisfaction, skill tickets and work orders being turned in and addressed in a timely manner, communication, clear and consistent communication regarding services keeps our customers informed, reliability, dependable collection services foster trust and confidence among residents, so cross-training to reduce mishaps and continued consistency across the board. Professionalism, courteous and knowledgeable staff improve the organization's image, being welcomed at the window and greeted at our solid waste facility. If any of you guys have been to our solid waste facility lately, our customer service skills are above to none. You're always greeted with a smile and how are you doing today, and a lot of positive attitude at solid waste. Customer service program success in the city of Las Vegas. Strategic initiatives. A dedicated solid waste service tech. A dedicated staff member to respond to trash calls pertaining to work orders, new rollout bins, placement of bins, audits for additional pickups, etc. Community engagement events. Return of public awareness programs to educate residents on effective waste management practices. Increased customer service satisfaction, mitigating calls, aids in being efficient with our paying customer needs. Earlier this month, during a supervisor-manager meeting, it was brought to our attention this is the best the department has performed with service work orders, skill tickets being turned in a daily and efficient time, and audits being completed over the period that she's been here. Recycling programs, looking into what programs would best suit the needs of the city of Las Vegas community. Of course, these are going to be baby steps in moving in the right direction, but with those baby steps, with support for staff and research for the capabilities of what would be best for this community. Challenges and strategies in solid waste customer service. Addressing challenges in customer service for solid waste management. As you can see even to my right-hand side, the picture right there, these are some of the issues that we had been dealing with and continue to still deal with, where people will still pull up with not trying to abide by even being stopped and throw trunks the way this is into our transfer station facility. High volume of inquiries. Managing a large number of calls and requests can strain resources significantly. Keeping in mind the size of our transfer station, we are a very small facility. Public perception issues, misunderstandings regarding service policies can lead to customer dissatisfaction. Following our ordinances along with our state permits on do's and don'ts. Streamlining processes. Implementing efficient systems for handling inquiries can improve response times. Educational campaigns. Raising awareness about services and policies align public expectations with reality. Enhancing solid waste customer service needs. Implementing effective strategies for improvement. Bringing back amnesty days. Solid waste is actually proud to announce that our first Amnesty Day kickoff is going to be the 19th of this month on a Saturday from 8 to 2 p.m. Now, the last time an Amnesty event took place was 2+ years ago. So this is going to be huge for the community and not only for the department as well. And mind you, I want to keep in mind and express this, we're not by any means a full capacity staffed department right now. We're still very short-handed, and they took on this challenge and role to want to be able to serve our community as well. So everybody's committed to this. So this is going to assist us moving forward. Second Amnesty Day will take place on June 7th, 2025, along with a cleanup by wards starting in August. So this is another event we want to bring back to the city of Las Vegas community, is cleanup by wards. And this other way, in a later date, I would like to schedule an appointment with each one of you guys individually So that way we could kind of express our ideas on what we have formulated, and we could hear input from all of you as well. And that way we could move forward and make this a successful event as well for the City of Las Vegas community. Proactive communication, keeping customers updated about service changes, fosters transparency and trust. Working with our Public Information Officer, our PIO, with event changes. Landfill closing early due to high winds and inclement weather. At these point in times, we have no control over this. And I want to throw out a lot more towards our Public Information Officer is because she's been nothing but great in assisting us with any type of educational purposes that we need to bring forward. But I do want to also state that we have been working very hard with trying to implement bringing grants back for solid waste. One of them is the KAB program. Another one is the CAB, the RAID grant. We've been entering a lot of these Zoom meetings as well, getting information. But also with the Public Information Officer, I am very pleased to announce that I just got a call from her about 15 minutes before coming over here to the City Hall meeting. And she stated they did get a call from the governor's office. And the call was through breaking bad habits. I'm sure you guys have all been seeing that on commercials. And they contacted, so they caught wind about us placing an Amnesty Day event on our calendar. And they're stating that they want to get information from us afterwards. So of course, what we're going to do by that is implement, even trying to track the amount of trash bags that come in. Of course, the tonnage that comes in. But they also stated we are on the list right now, and this assists us with moving forward with any of these other grants that we're going to be asking for moving forward. So that's huge, and I need to give a shout out to her as well for that information because she put a great video for us together on Amnesty Day. Feedback loops. Regularly collecting and acting on customer feedback strengthens community relationships. Conducting commercial and residential audits. Assessing effectiveness in customer engagement. Customer satisfaction. Regular audits gauge public sentiment on services. Response times measures the average time to resolve customer inquiries. Service completion tasks tracks the amount of scheduled pickups completed without issues, along with any added pickups that may need to take place. I can't even come out and state how pleased I am with the short staff that I am, because these audits have been assisting us dramatically. Part of these situations, even prior, we were having a lot of illegal dump sites that were taking place in the locations on some of these bins on where they were placed. We've been making a lot of contacts with our customers on mitigating the locations of these bins and along with the amount of pickups. Now, through these audits, if we're getting calls 2-3 times a week, but they're only getting billed once a week, we're losing out on that. And that's where it formulates a relationship with the customers as well on the do's and don'ts. Now, if they do need an extra pickup, well, let's accommodate that. Enhancing solid waste customer service. Key takeaways from our discussion. Customer feedback's vital role. Customer feedback is crucial for improving services and ensuring resident satisfaction. Technology's impact on services. Embracing technology enhances communications and streamlines services delivery for solid waste. Continuous training is key. Regular training ensures staff are equipped with best safe practices to maintain a high service of standards. Creating positive resident experiences. Focusing on these areas fosters a positive experience for residents and encourages community involvement. Promoting sustainability and responsibility. By prioritizing feedback, technology, and training, solid waste can promote sustainability. Transforming solid waste customer service together as one. Join us in improving solid waste customer service to foster a cleaner, sustainable community. Together, we can implement innovative solutions for a brighter future for the City of Las Vegas. And that concludes with my presentation. I know I was set up for a presentation, but I was asked to move it to a business item. I stand for any questions if you guys have anything.
I just want to thank you, Dave, for Mr. Marcus, for I think we've come a long way in the past year and a half or so, within the department, and I think that the direction, of narrowing and having directors specifically into certain departments, I think that has helped, I think, every department in the long run versus having one person solely in charge of 6 or 7 departments. So I think an equal attention has been given to every department, and I think we're across the board seeing great things happen. I think at the end of the day, the taxpayers, they pay their bills and they expect service, and I think that's happening. We still have hiccups, so thanks for admitting that, we are short-staffed, but these guys are still keeping up. That's a big thing. Hearing about the grants, I think that's important, to note that what you're doing and the department's doing is, I believe it was probably 3 years, somewhere around there, 4 years.
It's been quite a
We've
while.
applied for that, so those are gonna be big if we do, are we successful with them? And now hearing about the governor's office, getting on board with what we're doing, I think that's positive. So I think there's, continued positivity that, to continue to happen, and it's all because of you guys in the field. So thank you, guys, and I'll open it up. Councilor Casey?
Thank you. That was a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much. I wanted to ask a question, and I'm trying to think how to better word it. If there's a company, let's say, that does trash removal from someone's home, and they do this on a regular basis, that's their job, they contract out with the citizens in Las Vegas or surrounding area, are there special rates, different rates, higher rates? What kind of rates do those people have to pay if they come in every day with a, big old truckload of tree stumps and weeds and, smashed tin cans or whatever? How does that work?
Yes, ma'am, and that would fall underneath the business, so they would be charged at a little bit higher rate. I don't have those rates with me right off bat, but it is a higher rate that they would be paying versus a residential rate.
Okay. And my second, it's kind of a question. I have noticed in some neighborhoods that the trash is picked up on one side of the street, and everybody puts their trash cans out, and one side of the street is picked up, and then the other side is kept, not picked up for another hour or so. But what people are doing, and I've been noticing this, is that the person that had their trash picked up first brings out a second trash full of, another bin full of trash, and moves it to the side that hasn't been picked up yet. And so they're getting double service with just one payment.
Right.
Is there any way that maybe the routes can be reconfigured so that people, they say, oh, well, it's okay, they can pick up their side, and then I'll just move my trash can over there and they can pick it up again?
I hear you 100%, and moving forward, even in cross-reference with the audits that we are trying to do, this is what we're trying to mitigate. And so even in those type of concerns, we address the community, and it's not about, well, you're telling on your neighbor or anything, but it's part of, if everybody's doing something the correct way, everybody should be doing it that same way. So if it is something that is taking place, we actually, we want to pursue and them getting charged for that extra charge. So I encourage anybody who does see that type of activity taking place to feel free to give us a call. And that way, even if it's not directly to solid waste, contact customer service, and customer service will then designate somebody out there. Now, when I went back even to designating an on-call, like a service technician, these are part of the reasons why I want a service technician, is for one, to be on top of the work orders, so we don't have any buildup on any work orders. So if a rollout gets damaged or gets pulled by the wind or gets hit by a vehicle, well, we're able to act quickly on being able to accommodate those rollout bin replacements. But same thing in reference towards everything you just stated. Now, if we happen to get these calls, well, then I could send the service technician to get in contact with the driver en route, state if he verified to pick that up, and verify and seeing if there is additional trash in there. So that way we can make a manual work order and charge him for that extra pickup moving forward.
Okay. My last question is, I have seen in some neighborhoods, people put out like an old couch or a big giant, bookshelf or an outdated, record player cabinet or whatever, and they leave it out in the front of right next to the curb. And,
I know that a lot of people are elderly and they can't, pay somebody to pick it up and take it wherever. Some people don't want old stuff like that, so they don't come by and say, oh, what a neat old couch. I think I'll take it home.
Right.
So, what does the solid waste department do anything about those issues?
So depending, again, and this is in reference towards our ordinance as well. So now depending the situation on where that debris is located, now if there is a commercial bin over there, then that does fall within our ordinance. Now, if there isn't, that doesn't fall underneath solid waste to mandate that. But this is where we want to move forward in the direction with getting a service technician where in those aspects, like the way you stated, if we do have somebody who is elderly, they're not doing it maliciously or intentionally, this is the service we want to be able to attest with assisting them versus rather it being, well, it's yours, you take care of it the way you want to. Well, this is where we want to have a designated service. I can't say man because I do have females at the facility as well who are great at service work also. So, but in those type of events, we want to be able to be your neighbors and be able to work with you and provide those services. So if somebody does say, you know what, I put out a note out there for free, nobody's picked it up, it's already been 3-4 days, can you guys come and pick it up for me and charge it? Well, that's where our service technician will be able to come into place and being able to assist and accommodate our customers as well.
That's great to know because I have seen several, just different types of furniture, chairs, tables,
Of course.
old lamps, you name it, and they sit out there for a long time. And in some cases, I know the people that live in that particular area. I don't know if it belongs to them or a neighbor or whatever, because everything's kind of runs together. But there are a lot of people that need additional help because they just are not able to take care of it themselves. They don't have a vehicle to transport it anywhere. And most people don't want something that's old to use in their own home. So that would be a wonderful service. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Mr. Mayor.
Anybody?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Marquez. Do you have an audit or account of all the residents that have bins out there from the city, or the city gives them bins,
Yes, sir.
trash bins? Do you?
Yes, so even right now, moving forward, when I did mention the audits, that's one of our biggest things right where I wanted to start implementing was doing an audit on how many bins are out there, how many times they're getting picked up, what they're getting charged. Is it in a designated safe area, or does it need to be placed in an area that needs to be mitigated? Because what had been taking place, I don't want to use examples by anybody by any means right now, but we did have certain areas that they were in locations that were just high trafficked areas, and during those events, people just made it a public bin at that point in time. Now you have somebody who's paying for this bin, but 3, 4, 5 individuals are pulling up and they're throwing their trash in there as well. So now in reference, we had these certain situations where they're paying for 1 pickup, but they're calling for 2, 3 pickups. So in those situations, we're doing the audit on verifying how many bins they do have, how many pickups they're paying for. Now, in some of these instances, we've been able to mitigate placing some of these bins inside an enclosed area, which has been very beneficial for us and for the customer. Now, for other instances, we have had some that they do utilize a lot of trash. So in reference with these audits, they're telling us, well, you know what, I've been getting picked up 2 times a week, but you know what, I'm probably gonna add that, I'm gonna need this extra pickup. In reference, this is where we're working with them. We're assessing the bins that are out there, verifying it is the right size of bin, and they are getting charged accordingly for that bin along with the pickups, and it is assisting us. So right now, I can't say entirely we've done every single audit on everyone because there is a lot of them, but we have been tackling a lot of our big commercial audits.
I understand that. Sometimes some of the residents will call 3 or 4 times to pick up at the same residence area.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys do that?
Well, so yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that, just it's gonna be an additional cost.
Do you talk to the resident about
Of course,
the trash?
yes, and that's what part of the audit is as well, is making contact with our residents and, like I said, forming that relationship with them. We're not here to be against them. We want to work with them. So when we're able to talk with them, like they say, con palabras se entienden unos. When we're able to do that, you know what, they're able to listen to us and we're able to listen to them and we understand each other.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Montoya?
Yeah, You have a black trailer that carries probably 40 yards of trash that's never been used. It's still brand new. I've requested the last year and a half that we put that on the auction. It's probably worth, we probably paid $20,000 for it with those tires probably sun-beaten by now. I mean, I have asked the city manager to get an estimate from different companies to what it's worth. Put it on the next auction, get rid of it.
Sir, we will.
If we're not gonna use it, it's taking up space, it's taking up money. You can use that money somewhere else. It don't make sense at all. I don't know who purchased it or what, it doesn't matter. Thing is, we need to get rid of it. As far as Amnesty Day, we started that 18 years ago. And just a little bit of advice, whatever hours you have posted, make sure you're open those hours, because people will get pissed off if you're closed. They don't like to keep their trash in their trailers, in their home and so forth. And if you have trash bins to put around town, maybe people can dump trash in those trash bins, and then you can pick them up later to avoid some of the trash filling up at the transfer station itself.
Yes, sir.
And on your request, I am gonna take you up on it. I'll ask the city manager at my Tuesday meeting, next Tuesday at 10, and I will go visit your department. I know you've made a lot of changes, and I know even personnel-wise, the last time I was there, it was a different atmosphere. I haven't heard complaints like I used to. So that means things are going well for me. So I appreciate what you've done, how you've turned it around. And, I know Mr. Lopez, we had put him in there as an interim, and he did a great job on setting the path for you. So I appreciate that, and I'm glad all the customers are happy now with our solid waste department. I mean, some of them might have a concern about the business trailers, but, I mean, they pay like anybody else too, so. But I thank you for all the hard work and all the new improvements that have been going on in that area, in that department. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Casey, and then
I have one other question that just, I meant to ask it and I spaced it out.
How do you identify which bin belongs to which house? And I ask that because during the winds, there was one trash bin that I watched just slowly move down the street. And I thought, well, if I could run after it, I would, but I'm not gonna do that.
No, we don't want that, yeah.
And then later, after I had gone for, I don't know where I was, and anyway, when I got home, it was wedged up, it was upside down on the sidewalk.
Oh, wow.
And so when my husband got home, he picked it up and wedged it next to his truck and the curb so it wouldn't move. But the wind was so strong, it moved it anyway, and when he went out to check on it again, it was at the end of the block.
Oh, man.
And we don't know who it belonged to because all of them looked the same.
And that was probably during our windy
Yes.
events over here. So we did also put out a PSA as well for that to, of course, after pickup, to mitigate the rollout bins and try to keep it close to the fence or inside the property. But a lot of those rollout bins, they do have, I can't say a meter number, but if you refer back to a gas meter, it has a meter tag on the bottom. Same thing for the water, it has a meter number. Same thing for the rollouts, it does have a number on it. So in reference towards that number, we're able to contact customer service, give them that number for the rollout, and they're able to pull out the customer as to who it belongs to.
Oh, that's wonderful, because we didn't know who to give it to.
Right.
And so we just left it there and hoped that
Somebody would pick it up.
Right.
And it was out there like for 3 days before, I don't know if they were out of town or they work out of town or what, but we didn't know where to take it because all of them look the same.
Right, yeah, and they do have a tag though. And so with that tag number, that's how we're able to verify.
Okay.
So even in reference towards when I do go back to the service tech, in reference if they do need to do a replacement, well, for whatever reason, if the lid's damaged or it is cracked, well, they're able to refer back to the old number on the rollout bin and then implementing the new number, so that way the new one gets implemented and the old one gets removed from the service.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to mention, I know a lot of people don't realize that you actually have a different service. And what I mean by a different service is that 40-yard big roll-off that you have, that's pretty much a business roll-off, and I understand that. But you're also providing that service to the community that the community doesn't really have a clue that the city actually has bins like that. You guys have a couple of sizes, right? Like a 20 and a 40-yard?
30, 40s, yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
And, it's actually reasonable and smart to, if you have a lot of trash, a lot of debris to remove, and, it's easier to just get that sent over to your business location and then not have to put up with it and then just call for a pickup. So I think that's a good service to have, especially for the city, and I appreciate that because we've used that service before. One of the other things I wanted to mention was we do have a lot of residents within the city limits or just right outside the city limits that do have city water or city services like water and so forth, but they don't have a roll-off or rollout. And the reason why they don't is because they are part of the county. And these are some of the areas like Williams Drive. There's probably some other areas in that general area that are, and maybe it's across town, I don't even know for sure. But I do know that some of these people would like to have the ability to have, they already have city water, they already get a bill. But I think they would like to also have the ability to throw their trash locally. What happens if they don't do it like that? If they end up taking their trash to the county bins, sometimes the county has them over full or whatever it might be, I'm not sure. And most of the time, it's just an inconvenience for them. So they find a location within our community to dump. And I think you've run into that quite a bit. So I'm just bringing that up because I think there are some areas of the community that already do get city services that I think they would be very happy to have, that trash rollout that available to them. I don't know how many they are. I don't know exactly the areas. I know of a couple of areas, but I don't know them all. But I think Williams Drive, I think there's some out there, and I'm just trying to say, if we can extend that service. I mean, I know you're already short-staffed. That's not gonna help there. I get that. But it would definitely help bring in more revenue to our community, so.
Yeah, well,
Just
that'd
food for
definitely
thought.
be something to look into. I know a lot of them do fall into the ATZ zone, but we could look into it. It's just right now, and that's another thing I did want to bring up, is we are a small, I did put in their presentation, but we're a very small transfer station. So even at times when we're getting sometimes 30-foot trailer full of debris and trash, and they're coming in and say, if you accept that, it's almost going to overcapacitate your facility right then and there, or put you in a situation where you can't accommodate everybody else. So in those situations, and it's even difficult to be able to not so much turn them away, but you almost direct them directly to Waigamount, to the landfill, you know what I mean? And it's just right now in reference towards everything getting started and formulated to move in the direction that we feel we need to be, part of it is growth. And part of that is looking into creating a 5-year plan, 3-year plan, whatever it may be, to be able to expand that transfer station because it's a small transfer
It
station.
is a small transfer
Yeah, when you
station.
do go to, I was blown away when I did go to the Santa Fe transfer station. We did send 3 individuals to go get recycling certified. We're trying to bring back these type of programs to educate our staff. And that way creates opportunity for them for advancement within the department. But it also gives them the knowledge to be able to address and assess any type of situation and being able to help our customers. And when we went to that facility, I was blown away because it's about 20 times bigger than ours. And the amount of staff that they have, it's incredible. You know what I mean? And when you start looking at their capabilities and what they're able to do because of their size of their expansion, it would be huge to be able to do something even double what we have right now to make it bigger. Then it would be able to start opening up ideas and even more so to allowing more people to come in here, getting more customers the way you mentioned earlier.
Well, thank you and your staff. You guys do a good job,
Thank you, guys.
definitely.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you to David. When David came into the role, his level of energy is just, it's so high. And he went in, first thing he did was work with the staff and really build a team. and motivated them. He's done a lot to turn around the staff themselves and have them carry pride and want to be there at work. And it comes naturally for you. You're a team player and a great leader. I'm proud of what you've done. I'm impressed by what you've done. But that also goes beyond solid waste. Any team meeting that we have or training that we have, David participates in ways that motivates people. And I'm really proud and happy to have you here. I loved your presentation. I remember how nervous you were for the first one, and this one is like a piece of cake for you because it comes naturally. You know your subject matter, and you are the expert in it. And I appreciate what you're doing, so thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, moving on to executive session.
Mayor,
Entertain Yes.
if I may also, if we go into executive session, if I could please ask to have Chief Marquez included there because he has served in administrative capacity for me during times I was out, and I think that he can have valuable information.
Then we'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor,
Motion to
go ahead.
Go into executive session to discuss limited personnel matters, New Mexico NMSA 1978 10-15-1 H2. Discussion of hiring, promoting, demotions, dismissals, assignments, resignations of, or the investigation or consideration of complaints or charges against any individual public employee.
A motion
By Councilman Montoya, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Martinez. Roll call.
Councilor Olivari? Yes. Councilor Montoya?
Yes.
Councilor Martinez?
Yes.
Councilor Casey?
Yes.
Have a motion by Councilor Montoya, second by Councilor Martinez. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
We have a motion to return to regular session.
Mr. Mayor, make
Councilor
a motion to come back out of executive session to regular session and only limited personnel matters, NMSA 1978 10-15-1H2. Discussions of hiring, promotion, demotions, dismissals, assignments or resignations of, or the investigation of consideration of complaints or charges against any individual public employee were only discussed. Thank you.
We have a motion by Councilor Montoya. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Martinez. Roll call.
Did you forget his name?
Oh, no, it's.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Montoya? Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Livati?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Montoya, second by Counselor Martinez. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries. Moving on to our executive session action item, request the removal of Darlene Arguello as Human Resource Director.
This time I'll entertain motions.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Montoya.
You know, it's a tough decision to make, but I'll make a motion to request removal of HR Director Darlene Arguello.
A motion by Councilor Montoya. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Mayor,
Second by Councilor Martinez.
Mr. Mayor.
Discussion.
Mr. City Manager, is this your recommendation? You run the day-to-day operations?
Yes, sir. Based on the data that has been provided, it is my recommendation to have removal.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilor Martinez.
I just want to state for the record that, you know, I am going to agree with Councilor Montoya. These are not, they're not simple and easy decisions to be made. And obviously, the time that we spent in here today is a reflection of that. All I can say is that, you know, I hope that the individual that is in this position finds new direction that she can work with. And, you know, they're not easy decisions to make, and I applaud all of you for listening to all the evidence and information that we did get. Thank you.
Discussion, seeing none.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. Mr. Manager, it's very, very hard to sit as a councilman and decide things that we decided tonight. It's helpful to see things that happen because you have a very tough job. And I give you credit for everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Counselor Montoya?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
No.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Livati?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Montoya, a second by Counselor Martinez. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
This time I had a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Motion by Councilor Casey, second by Councilman Martinez. Meeting is adjourned.